Hi, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, I should say. Welcome to the Autism Society of Greater Phoenix's Lunch and Learn. We're excited today to have Emily from Aqua Pro Swim School to talk to us about autism and swim safety and how you can keep your loved one safe. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and I'm going to let Emily take it away. So thank you so much for being here, Emily. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm so happy to be able to talk about this topic. It's so important for me, for you, for the community. And I think there's a lot of unknown knowledge that sort of is simple, tangible knowledge that people can use every day to help keep their kids water safe. So I put together a little slideshow. We'll go through it. Again, if you guys have questions at all, um, I'm fine with being interrupted during the presentation. So just go ahead and raise your hand, give a shout out, interrupt me. That's fine. So we'll get going here. Let me minimize this a little bit so I can see. Okay, perfect. So this is water safety for children with autism. So what we're going to go over is a little bit about us, a little bit about Aqua Pros, and what to expect for today. So next one. So Tammy Anderson, who is the lady on the left, she she is the CEO of Aqua Pros, and it started in San Diego in 1997. So she has grown it grassroots from the ground up. It grew into a wait list of 600 kids that we have now whittled it down to 300. So we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. And we're new here in the Valley. We've been open about a year and a half. So it's just really about getting our name out there and like letting you guys know what we do and that we're here for you. So Tammy has 48 years of swim experience. She wrote the book Swimming with Autism. It sells all over worldwide. She travels around. She does lectures and conferences on swimming with autism. So she has really pioneered the way. And I'm lucky to be able to have really apprenticeship underneath her. Which brings me to my next one. I'm Emily. I've been with Aqua Pros for 21 years, which sounds like a really big number because how am I older than 21? So I've been teaching with Aqua Pros for 21 years. I've been a competitive swimmer my entire life. Started competing when I was 3. I'm a collegiate swimmer. I was going to school in San Diego and was looking for a job. Tammy was hiring at Aqua Pros. I started there and absolutely fell in love with teaching, fell in love with the kids, and really found my heart and soul in it. And so when Tammy was looking at opening a second location here in Arizona, I was currently doing business development. She kept asking if I wanted to go back to swim school, and I said no, and I said no, and I said no. And but I oversaw the entire project of getting our pool made. My blood, sweat, and tears are in that. And after 2.5 years, she asked if I wanted to run the swim school, and how do you say no? So I manage the Aqua Pros Arizona. Again, we've been open about a year and a half. We just hit over 100 kids, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really impressed and proud of our growth. I would say probably 70% are kids on the spectrum. We do all neurodiversities. We primarily specialize in kids with autism. So next one, why we are here. So the number one cause of death for children with autism is drowning. They have this infinity for the water. And if you're in your car shaking your head, yes, like my kid is just drawn to the water, wants to jump, wants to swim, wants to play, but they lack a skill. And because of those two, it's literally a deadly combo, right? And so we are here to change that statistic. We're here to teach them the skills they need in order to be water safe. So that way, they're not part of that statistic, right? I had this boy come in about a year ago in full snorkel gear, like a face mask, a tube, everything, wouldn't put his toe in the water, wouldn't touch it. And he's been swimming a year now and he's completely water safe. I had him yesterday and he swam all 25 yards unassisted. So now I know that he's taken off that list of statistics, which is what we are here to do. One of the biggest things is elopement and wandering. Because of their infinity towards the water, and they're sneaky. They know how to get outside. They know how to undo the locks of the doors. But they are often found in fountains at the mall. They're often found in ponds at the golf courses. in neighbor's pool, right? So if your kid does go missing, start looking in the bodies of water. Even if you're like, no, that's not possible. They couldn't get that far. They don't know where that is. Um, Look in the bodies of water. We had a kid recently come to the San Diego pool at night and, a bathing suit that was all wonky, it was his mom's suit. And he had ran 3 miles because he had been to the swim school one time for a pool party. So don't discredit like the distance. Start looking bodies of water if your kid goes missing. So and swimming is more than just a life-saving skill, right? So the Griffith Institute for Educational Research study in 2012 has shown that those who begin formal swim lessons at a young age are smarter than their peers, right? It puts together this cognitive hand-to-eye motion. They're learning something new. And when we learn something new, right, we create new neural pathways in our brain, right? And so without those, we're obviously testing it to swim lessons. But it's just helping their cognitive ability. It's helping their motor skills, their gross motor skills, their fine motor skills, right? We're sort of hitting all of these notches with swim lessons. Plus it provides a physical and recreational activity. And it's fun for the whole family. And it's kind of a bummer. Maybe I'm the only one, but I don't think I am. When you're going to a pool party and you have a family member that doesn't swim, that means somebody's always out on the side. That means somebody's kind of left out. The dynamic is just different than if the entire family can get in and have this really shared experience together. But again, like ultimately, it is a life-saving skill for those with autism. I'm kind of going through these a little fast. So again, drinking water out of a fire hydrant, raise your hand if you have any questions. Why traditional swim lessons don't, or maybe haven't, or possibly don't work for your child. A lot of swim schools, it's a one size fits all teaching. Here's our curriculum, no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, no matter what your neurodiversity is, like this is what we have to teach you. And when you don't fit into that, they don't know how to cater to certain individuals, right? Because it doesn't fit in their box. And these kids do not fit in boxes. And a lot of the times these swim schools are loud and they're chaotic and they're, yelling all these different names and there's transitions and there's music. And it's just so overstimulating for these kids that we find that they're shutting down. We find that they're running out. We're finding that it's just not this conducive environment for them to learn and grow for this certain skill set. And a lot of the instructors, they're not trained. They don't have the resources. They don't have the behavior management modification that you need for this like specialized population. And so the instructors get frustrated, the kid gets frustrated, the parents get frustrated. We have so many families that come to us just in tears, like, my instructor was just yelling at my kid. Now my kid has a fear of the water because the instructor didn't take their time to get to know them and just dunked them under. And so we are really, Aqua Pros, we're really trying to provide that place of safety and that place of, we understand that not one size fits all teaching. And we're here to cater to what your kid needs in order to grow. I know that parents with kids on the spectrum, you hear no all the time, right? You hear no, your kid can't do the after school program. You hear no, your kid can't do this summer camp. No, your kid can't take this gymnastics class. Your kid is too hard. Your kid is too violent. Your kid is too loud. Your kid doesn't listen. Whatever is, you guys hear no, or there's like long wait lists. Like, okay, we do accept kids on the spectrum, but you have to wait 6 to 8 months to get in, right? And so instructors refusing to work with children with autism, fear meltdowns or judgments, and just again not having the training that they need in order to help these kids thrive. And so with these parents constantly hearing no, here's what I want you to hear today is we are a place of yes. It is something that we pride ourselves on. We will not turn anybody away. In the entire time, 97 is when Tammy opened, we have not turned one kid away. So I want you to know that when you hear no everywhere else, I promise and guarantee you will hear yes from us. What parents need: safety and confidence and inclusion. Again, a place where your child is accepted. There's no, if you're like, but my kid bites and kicks and is nonverbal and is a bucking bronco, like, come to mama. Like, let's work through this. Let's figure out a way to communicate. Let's figure out a way that works, that we're both being mutually benefited from, and come and just and give us a check out. So a safe, predictable environment. What you see is what you get every time. You get an instructor, you get assigned an instructor, and that's going to be your instructor. They're not going to switch every week. Yeah, just a predictable environment. You know what you're coming into every time. We do have sort of a skeleton structure of what we hit, like maybe kicks and swims, or we hit kicks and swims and bubbles. So they know what they're getting. And we have visual boards as well, where we can set up the schedule. Like, first we're going to do bubbles, then we're going to do kick boards, so we have these visual aids, we have these resources to reduce water anxiety. So exposure equals prevention. So it starts at home. And here's what you can do at home. So water familiarity builds confidence, right? Water does not need to be a scary thing. It should not be a scary thing. Water is a fun thing. It's we take baths in it, we take showers, we wash our hands, we play in it. There's water tables. And so as much as you can, as little as they can, introduce them to water, right? Like, what does this feel like on your hands? Drop water on their face. Does that feel like it tickles, right? Sort of create a name for the sensations that they're feeling, but make sure that they're feeling water and that they're exposed to it. If you do have a swimming pool and you're not confident in getting them in the pool swimming, let's sit on the side and put our toes in. Can you make really big splashes? What does that feel like between your toes? Right? So get them familiar with water. So when they are introduced to it, it's not this big, scary conglomerate that now we're having to overcome, right? They're familiar with it. Okay, they have this base sense of acceptance of it, and then we get to build from that. All right, so here comes the fun part. Here's what you guys get to do at home. Building habits at home. So at Aqua Pros, we use the cue 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Not ready, set, go, not 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. And so what you can do at home, and this trains them for a cue, right? So we never dunk a kid under if they don't know the water is coming. We will do this cue until we see a signal from your kid that they understand that the water's coming. It's simple. You take a cup of water in the bath, in the shower. If you are in the pool with them, fill it with water. Sorry for her hairdo. She didn't get her blowout today. You're going to take a cup of water. You start trickling it behind their head. It's a 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Go means water is coming on their face. So 1, 2, 3, ready, go. And it doesn't have to be this Niagara Falls. It can just be a little trickle. And what you're doing is you're teaching them word association, right? So you're not just splashing water on their face or, alarming them. You're letting them know 1, 2, 3, the water's coming, ready, go. And what's really cool is what you see will happen is you'll start to go 1, 2, 3, ready, and your kid will start going like this and blinking their eyes and making all these face motions because they're holding their breath, because they know that water is coming because of the word go, right? Is that making sense? So 1, 2, 3, ready, go. They're learning the cue. They're holding their breath. Another thing that you can do, and I would practice this, and look, if your kid hates water on their face, I get it, but it's because their face is sensitive to water and you have to begin to desensitize it, right? That's one of the biggest safety things, is having them be comfortable with water on their face. So again, talking about sensations, what does that feel like? Does it tickle? If I'm scared, I'm scared. Oh, you know what? It's okay to be scared, but we can be scared and brave at the same time. Let's try it again, right? Tell me what it feels like. So really just have communication about what it feels like and what they're experiencing. And if and when they do throw a fit, please don't give up. Like, just try to get through 2 or 3 of these every single night. And within 3 or 4 days, you'll notice a massive difference. But you got to stick with it. Consistency is key. We hear all the time. It's the same for this as well. if you are in the pool with your kid, one of the biggest things is learning to wait for you to invite them in the water. Okay, let's say they're standing on the steps and they want to swim to you. We're still using the 1, 2, 3, ready, go cue. We use it for everything. And it's easily adaptable for you to use in your own home as well. So they wait on the stairs. They're not jumping into you and you're just like, oh, trying to scramble. What you're doing is you're inviting them in the pool and you're saying, you know what? I'm ready to catch you. I'm ready to be aware that you're in the water. I'm ready to help you swim. I'm ready to help keep you safe. Okay, so make them wait, toes on the edge. Wait for me to say go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ready, go, big jump. Right. And so that goes for when they're standing on the side of the pool. Instead of them jumping in, let's say you're talking to somebody, they jump in behind you, you don't hear them. Now we're in a trouble situation. But if they understand that they have to wait for you, they're going to stand there. Maybe, hey, mama, I'm ready. Okay, let me come and give you the cue. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Then they're jumping in. Now everybody is aware of what's going on, that a kid is now entering the pool. Huge, huge, huge safety. Climbing out, I think I actually hit this on the next slide. So let's go learning to wait at the edge. Again, just learning to wait for everything. Okay, I'll do this. Climbing out. Actually, I think it's on another slide. Okay, this got a little bit out of order, but again, the place of yes, we are turned away from everywhere else. We hear kids all the time, or parents all the time. They come in with their kid that's nonverbal and absolutely petrified of the water. And we have had so many experiences with kids that use their first word in the water. There is something magical, right? Because how good do you feel when you're in a bath, right? Had a stressed out day. What do you want to do? You want to get in water because it relaxes you, right? You want to go swimming in the pool, float on a float, drink a Mai Tai, whatever you want to do. We're in the water because it's this just calming effect. And a lot of kids will get out of their head and then magic happens. They absolutely blossom. So these kids come in and they're nonverbal and they're terrified of the water and they won't put their toe in. And because of our training, because of our patience, because we know what we're doing, all of a sudden now they're saying a couple words, like, what color is this ball? Is it blue? Blue. And I'm like, did you just say blue? And the parents are crying. There is just, I keep saying magical, but there's just something so special about when these kids get in the water. And again, now they're jumping in and smiling, right? And it might take, Xander took a year. He took a year of swimming almost twice a week for him to be able to swim independently. Like we're in it for the marathon. We're not in it for the sprint. Like we will not give up. We know what we are capable of and we know what your kids are capable of. And it's so fun to watch them just be petrified of putting their toe in the water, to doing cannonballs and screaming yippee, right? There's just this huge sense of accomplishment, not only for us, that's fine, but like for them as well. And you just see their confidence skyrocket. And confidence that they take from the water out into their real life. Like so many parents come and say that my kid shows up in the world differently because they are water confident. So that's just a really rad thing. Again, it just takes the right support. What a first lesson looks like. And this can even be for you at home, right? Just like calm visual cues, right? We have tablets, and I suggest that you do this too at home. Get a tablet, get a waterproof case, and you can show photos of somebody doing a back float, right? If you're like, hey, let's float on our back, and they're like, I don't understand what you mean. Let's watch a video on it, right? Or picture boards. I'm sure a lot of you parents have picture boards. So, of the kid doing a back float, of the rings, just some sort of visual cue. And so we're lucky that we also have that at the swim school. We have those resources. Again, a quiet intro, our swim school, we have busier times and a lot less busy times. So if your kid is really auditory sensitive, we'll have them come in during a less busy time and we'll have a nice quiet intro. And if for the first lesson, what we're doing is we're sitting on the top step and we're just putting our toes in or dipping our fingers in, then that's fine. Like we're not having these grandiose expectations without knowing what we're walking into. And individualized pacing, we meet each student with where they're at. Like, and even if they have been swimming for a while, and they come in one day and they're having an off day. We all know those days. And before they were swimming halfway to the pool, and today they're throwing a tantrum. You know what? Let's just work on our bubbles today. Let's get really killer at just bubbles, right? We're not even going to push them and touch that topic. We're going to wait until they're ready to go back to that, and we're just going to work on a different skill that suits where they're at for the day. So I encourage you to do that as well at home. Like, get rid of the stand, like, this is what we are doing today. These are the boxes we need to check, and be available to be flexible. Swim education, drowning, the risk is real, but it's preventable, right? Again, it might not be 1, 2, 3 lessons. It might be a while, but it's preventable. Getting your kids in as soon as possible gives them the greater risk of succeeding. Again, you guys deserve a place of yes with all the things that you have going on, with all the balls that you're juggling, with all of the plates that you're spinning. You deserve to know that you have a place that's going to welcome you with open arms. Clearly, I was very keen on doing the place of yes, and there's 6 slides on it. Every teacher is teachable with the right support. Safety begins with inclusion. We don't have any prerequisites. Some swim schools say that the kid needs to be able to swim half the length of the pool or be comfortable with their face in the water. Again, give us your bucking Broncos. Give us the ones that say no. Nonverbal does not mean that they can't communicate, right? We all know this. It just means that it's a different way of communication, and we will fight tooth and nail and figure out what it is in order to be able to communicate with them. So like, nonverbal, no problem. I would say probably half, or maybe even more than half of our kids that we have right now on the spectrum are nonverbal, and we communicate with every single one of them. All of our staff is trained by the founder of Aqua Pros, so by Tammy Anderson, who did the book Swimming with Autism. Our curriculum is based on that. They all go through a 4-hour training. They'll go through a 4-hour training, and then they do tangible training with me in the water. And I won't let a teacher teach a class by themselves, have their own classes, until I'm absolutely confident that all the boxes are checked, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dots, that they know what they're doing and they're able to create a safe and fun place. So other tools that work. So here's something that we use. You can get pegboards online. I've also done it with Amazon has these treasure chest boxes that have, I don't know, maybe 10 gems in them. What it is, it's a reward system. I don't want to do big swims today, right? They're not having a fit. It's not one of those days. They're just like not keen on it. Maybe they're a little bit scared. And so like, okay, look, we're going to do 5 big swims. So they do 1 swim and have, that was so awesome. Go over and grab a peg and put it in. So they put it in. So what's happening here? They get an instant reward, right? Which makes them want to do it again. And they're also looking, they can also visually see that they're getting closer to the end, right? Like, how cool, you did 3 of these already. Now you only have 2 more to go. That's awesome. Let's get another one done, right? So these are so beneficial and so helpful. And again, with the gems are, you know, that the treasure chest boxes that you can find on Amazon, you know, take the gems out of the box. Can you line up 5 gems? So count them out. All right, let's put our eyes in the water and blow our bubbles. Oh, awesome. That was number 1. Put the gem in the treasure chest, right? So they're doing something and getting this instant reward, and it is outstanding, like how quick they want to keep going and how quick they pick things up with this reward. So again, we have that. The iPads are helpful, the pegboards, visual timers are good. So think of like an egg timer, but when you turn it, I wish I had one here. When you turn it, it's a different color, like red, right? 30 minutes and it's red. And so then as the time goes up, the red gets less and less and less and less. So what is 30 minutes to a kid? It could be 30 weeks, it could be 30 seconds. Like, they don't have this grasp of time, but when they see the color getting smaller and smaller and smaller, now this is more tangible. Now this is something that I can see is sort of coming to an end. And so if you're working on something with them in the bath or in your own pool, and I really suggest using a timer so that way they can visually see that they're not going to be in there forever. Like that's not our goal. We don't want them in there forever. We want them to come back. We want them to love the water. And consistent language with that 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Right? Like them hearing that consistent language, it's familiar to them. And so if you are wanting to do something at home that makes it easier for the swims to go into swim lessons, it's having whatever cue the swim school uses, because now the kid is hearing it and they're hearing it in the safety of their own home. Right. And so when they go into swim lesson, one, they're already getting used to go water on their face, hearing that. So when they come into swim school, they're hearing a cue that they heard in their safety of their own home, and it helps to bridge that gap. Now the swim school, it's not this brand new scary place, but there's something from home that is being used here. So I'm going to trust it a little bit more. Um, so again, like we have our swim school designed for your kids in mind. Low lighting, minimal noise, gentle voices, slow transition. We keep it as calm and understimulating as we can. So we can really focus on the nitty gritty and what's important, and that's getting your kid water safe. And if you want to have them wear goggles or not, I didn't mean to say floaties, um, goggles or flippers, that's what I meant to say, then have them hold it. If they're too scared, if they don't like anything on their face, I had this girl, you could not go anywhere near her face without complete meltdown. But I wanted her to have an experience with the goggles. So the first day, I grab them, she screams, cool, let's look at them. I'll hold them, you look at them. What color are they? They're purple. Is purple your favorite color too? Great. Then the next time, now maybe she's holding them or maybe she's touching them. Can you touch where the eyes go? Right. So now she's touching them. So she's warming up. And then the next week, maybe she's holding them. And then the next week we're looking. And then the next week we're just barely putting them on our face. And then the next week it's a little bit more pressure, right? So go slow. Just, don't just try to snap them on their face. And we don't try to snap them on their face. That's not comfortable for them. That's not really comfortable for anybody. And so we're willing to take the time and go slow, and you should do, the same thing at home. And if you wanted them to wear, we're big fans of fins. And again, like a lot of kids, they don't want it on their feet. Like it constricts their feet. It's a sensory thing. Like I don't want fins on my feet. Okay, let's hold them. What about putting them on your hands? That's a little bit silly to have fins on our hands, right? So just slowly introducing them to things. I have floaties on here, which brings me to a really great topic. I didn't mean to put floaties on here because here's the thing. Puddle jumpers, floaties, I guess those are like the only names. But here are the danger with those. One, it puts your kids swimming in a horizontal position and our vertical position, and this is the drowning position. It teaches your kid just how to bob up and down, drowning position, right? We want to get them to go horizontal, to go prone on the water, because now this is the swimming position. If they kick their feet here, they're just going like this. If they kick their feet here, now they're moving across the water. And what it does is it's called bicycle kick. So your kids will have these really small, fast kicks like this, like this, like this, and not learn how to kick with their legs straight. And so when we get them, now they learn how to swim like this with these little teeny tiny kicks. And the second we try to hold them like this, their feet kick up. They're not comfortable with this position because they're comfortable here. And you can tell too, the second you start to tip them over, the feet start to come up. It's like, okay, you're a floaty kid and it's correctable. But again, just having to correct that is going to take some time, where that can be avoided altogether. Another reason about that is kids don't know when their floaty's on and when their floaty isn't on. And so if they're used to getting a floaty on inside and walking around the pool and jumping in and they have their floaty and they can swim to the wall and they can do whatever they want, if they manage to get out and aren't being supervised and they don't have a floaty on, guess what they're going to do? They're still going to jump in the pool because they're going to expect to be able to float and expect to be able to swim. And now we're in a really bad situation. And also, parents tend to get a little bit lax on their supervision when kids are in a floaty. because they trust in that floaty. And there are so many things that could go wrong. Even with the floaty, your kid can tip in the wrong direction. And again, now we're in a really bad situation. So I understand if you have a bunch of kids and you absolutely have to use it. I get it, but just try to avoid it at all cost. Um, just try to avoid it at all costs. And once your kid starts any sort of swim lesson or swim activity, um, keep them out of the floaty, because now we're training them how to swim like this. And every time they get back in the floaty, they're coming like this. And it's a teeter totter of recorrection every time. And it's going to take us a long time to get anywhere. We've kind of talked about this, but predictable schedule. And at home, if you're doing little swim lessons at home, predictable schedules, we're going to do, put your toes on, wait for me to say go. We're going to do 5 swims, work on blowing their bubbles. If they're having a hard time learning how to blow bubbles, actually get a bubble wand and have them blow bubbles in the pool. That's amazing. See what your lips are doing. Now let's put them in the water and blow our bubbles that way. Or, a fun thing too is, how to blow up birthday candles? Okay, you're 3 years old, blow out the birthday candles and put their mouth close to the water. And now they're going, right? And they're blowing out these birthday candles, but they're also learning how to blow air out of their mouth and learning how to blow their bubbles. Predictability schedule. We're going to do 3 jumps on the side of the pool. I'll give you the 3 jumps to work on. So the first jump, their toes are on the edge, always on the edge, because if they're standing far back, here's the edge. If their feet are here and they go to jump, they're slipping and they're not in the water. And then we're skinning our knees and cracking our shins, right? So toes on the edge, wait for me to say go. So the first jump that you can do is have them jump in and swim to you, right? If they're not comfortable getting their face wet, then we're just going to put our chin and our bottom lip in. And tell them that, like, you're going to do a big jump and you're going to put your chin and your bottom lip in, and then stick with your word. Don't don't dunk them, but build that trust. So chin in the bottom lip. The second jump is jumping in and a back float, right? So that's the safety jump. It's teaching them how to get in the water and roll over and flip on their back. I'll give you the tip for back floats. Again, a lot of information. Back floats. You go cheek to cheek, one hand on their belly, one hand on their back. And when you put your hand on their belly and their back, give a really firm squeeze. Like, I'm talking a firm squeeze, and that's going to make them feel safe. And if any time that you're in the water and you're swimming with your kid and they're holding on to you, what I want you to do is I want you to hold on twice as hard. So when your kid is holding on to you with this pressure, that pressure means I feel safe, and we want to make them feel more than safe. So there's this pressure of I feel safe, and there's now we've got double the pressure. I got you pressure, right? And you'll feel them like start to relax once you sort of give them that really firm I got you grip, then they'll start to soften. So the first jump is a jump and a swim. The second jump is a jump and a back float. And then the third jump is a jump and swimming back to the wall. So they're jumping in. We're either spinning them or telling them how to spin or whatever their ability is, and then going back and grabbing the wall. So now we're working on if they were to ever fall in a pool, if they were to get knocked in the pool by a dog at a barbecue, whatever it is, we're building that muscle memory that when they get in the water, fall into the water, and they turn around, there's going to be safety behind them. So another thing that you can work on when they're going to the wall, a safety thing, is reach up and grab. Okay, so we're swimming them to the wall, and you might even have to be like, reach up, grab the wall. And that what kids want to instinctively do is do this. They get to the wall and they do this. What's that doing? That's pushing them away from safety, right? It's not instinctual to reach up and grab. That's a learned behavior. So reach up and grab the wall. Again, a safety thing. We learned elbow, elbow, belly, knees, did we not? So elbow, elbow, belly, knees, safest way to get out of a pool. Hand, hand, foot, that's just going to create their foot to slip, and it's going to cause exhaustion and not get them out of a pool. If you're swimming with a tiny baby and they don't have the dexterity to get out of the pool, we're just tapping their body parts. We're tapping elbow, elbow, belly, knee, and sitting them up. Wait till I say go. And you're just holding them. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Okay. So the jumps in are jump and swim, jump in a back float, jump spinning towards the wall, reach up, grab the wall, climbing out is elbow, elbow, belly, knees. All right. It's a lot of words. um, Parent communication, you guys are part of the team. Um, you are the team, basically. If and when you sign up for our swim school, we send an assessment sheet out before you enroll. So that way we know what to expect and we know how to prepare for it. If we don't know this behavior, we're going to figure it out. We're going to research it. And we're going to have a plan in motion before you guys get there. Oftentimes there'll be communication between the instructor and you. Like, I had a kid the other day that had his first like absolute meltdown, and I tried to manage it, and it went okay. But I asked mom, I was like, "What should I have done better?" Right? Like, we don't have egos attached. We're not here like, "Well, I tried my hardest." I'm like, "What can I do better? How can I help more?" Um, and so just really keeping that line of communication open and clear. Progress updates, you'll get a little update every time. Jimmy did awesome on his face down swims today, but he's still not very comfortable on his back. So if you could work with him with him at home on that, that'll be great. And then just the tools to reinforce at home, sort of everything that we've been talking about, the weight, the 1, 2, 3, ready, go. And the bath is a massive, massive, massive thing. Desensitizing their face to the water like that. And then jumps, back floats, all those little tricks. So see the progress, a snapshot of change. So a lot of kids come in, they have a lot of fear, they have a lot of refusal, they have a lot of sensory meltdowns. And as they get to know the program, as they get to know their instructors, as they get to know the pool, you'll just see now they're getting excited. They see their bathing suit come out of the drawers, and they want to get ready. Now they're having calm entries. The meltdowns are slim to none because we know triggers now, and we know how to intercept those triggers. And again, real growth happens fast with the right method. We really have the right method down. Goals, we've sort of gone over this. The goals are tailored to each child. We know that no two kids are the same, and we don't expect them to, nor do we want them to be. We celebrate their individuality. Our small groups are 3 to 1, so 3 students to 1 teacher ratio. We offer private one-on-one. We keep our classes really small, so that way your kid gets the individualized attention that he needs in order to progress. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the elbow, elbow, belly, knees, how we get out of a pool, safer than hand, foot. If you don't have a pool at home, practice on the couch. Elbow, elbow, belly, knees. Can you get up on the couch? Let's see you practice elbow, elbow, belly, knees, right? And then again, if you're doing that at home and then coming to a swim school and they hear that, they're hearing a phrase that's familiar at home and being able to bridge that gap. And so it's not a brand new topic or a brand new idea to them. And plus they like working on things at home, right? It makes them feel more accomplished. Chant a sequence, make a game, however you want to make it a game. Wait for the invite, right? Wait before entry. I always go 1, 2, 3, ready, go. And I splash the water. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. And it gets to a point that I can just splash the water when I'm ready for them. And they know that cue. And wall crawling. This is another safety thing. So having them hang on the wall and scooting along, right? So we go chugga chugga choo choo, the itsy bitsy spider. And what's that doing is, one, it's teaching them how to hold on, right? Because the edge of the pool can tend to be really slippery. And so it's teaching them that grip strength. And then it's also teaching them that if they were to be in a situation where they fell in the pool and they swam back and now they're holding the wall, and let's say they can't get out. Now they can scoot to safety. Now they can scoot over to the stairs, scoot over to a ladder, scoot over to an adult. So that's a really important one for them to learn. And again, like, just go to the edge, swim to the wall, go to the edge. We want to teach them that no matter where they are in the pool, their brain just instantly goes, wherever I am, I need to get to the edge. I need to get to the wall. So we reinforce that over and over and over, building that muscle memory. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Before rinsing, we talked about this, using the cup. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Avoid the visors that you can put on. avoid every time water gets in their eyes, wiping, because what you're doing is you're reinforcing that water is bad. And if water is bad, now we're having an even farther way to go when they start lessons. Yeah, and respect sensory preferences while progressing. You know your kid better than I do, better than anybody does. And so you know when to push, when to pull back. Let's say they only want only one, two, three, ready, go at the bath time, because other than that, they're going to absolutely lose their mind. Just get one in, just get what you can in. Celebrate the small wins, right? I'm sure all of you parents do that anyways. Positive and patient. Every learned skill is a success, even if it's just getting their chin in the water, getting their lip in the water, like everything gets celebrated. And then just with that consistency of water on their face, consistency of jumping in, consistency of even putting their toes in and splashing, just building their confidence. Join a lesson. We're here when you're ready. It's summer. It's pool time. We are open year round. We have an indoor pool. We are located on Southern and Gilbert. We keep the water at 91 degrees because I don't learn well when I'm cold. A lot of kids don't learn well when they're cold. Like taking away teeth chattering and taking away that variable really helps for a great learning environment. Yeah, you can help spread the word, share this presentation, connect with us, with schools or providers. Again, we're newer here in the Valley. And so we're just needing to help get the word out. So if you feel so inclined to sort of get on board with that, we'd be greatly appreciative. Final thoughts, you're not alone. You guys are the heroes, right? You're here, you're taking the first step. I gave you guys a lot to think about. A lot of things to do that you can do at your home. And so just implementing those where and when you can, and just knowing that your child is capable. I think that you guys already all know that. And then we're cheering for you every step of the way. So here are, we offer 2 weeks free. You can swim up to 4 times in that. So let's say you want to do a Tuesday, Thursday for 2 weeks. Come on in. If you're like, this place is rad, I want to join, that's great. If you're like, you know what, not for us, fantastic, no hard feelings, and I hope you find something that fits. Like that is absolutely fine with us. Are we able, Olivia, to send out for the people that are here a 2 weeks free flyer to them? Do you have their, yeah, perfect.
If you send it to me, I can definitely send it out.
Perfect. So I'll send you guys those. Feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Emily. I wear all the hats for Aqua Pros. I have a great staff of a couple of girls. We are open. I'll give you guys our hours from Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 12:30, and then again from 3 to 7. Not open Friday afternoons. And then Saturday we're 9 to 1. Aquapros.org. Oh, and I wanted to share something. I was telling Olivia earlier. We were just featured last Saturday. The World's Greatest is a TV show, and we were just featured as the world's greatest swim school because of our work that we're doing with this community and this population. So we're very, very proud of it. But it's sort of, it's great to get recognized, and hopefully gives us a little street cred. But I think I've used all my words. Does anybody have any questions about what you heard or about the swim school or anything at all?
There's questions in the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, right. So we have a question in the chat as far as, are you able to work with DDD to get lessons covered by insurance?
Okay, thank you. I completely forgot to mention this. We have Class Wallet. We don't have DDD. So we are doing, our ESA is Class Wallet that we accept. At what age do you use these techniques? Three's a perfect age, but we start with kids as old as 8 weeks. Because again, when they're 8 weeks old, they're learning the 1, 2, 3, ready, go, 1, 2, 3, ready, go, right? They're learning that cue, and that cue is just going to take them forward. But yeah, 3 years old, 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Wait is a good one for her to learn, right? Just that's a one word, like wait, and even if they're like jumping off the couch or jumping on their bed, like just teaching them that cue to wait for you, to sort of invite them to do the activity that they're wanting to do, especially if it's a safety issue. I I think I answered. I have looked into DDD. I'll look into it again. There's some hurdles to jump on that one. But we do have Class Wallet, so that is available.
Yeah, I know typically for DDD, you have to be a physical therapist or
Yeah, yeah. I think we
something.
like just fell short of the mark. And so um, yeah, so people were recommending Class Wallet, and so we're on there.
So Tori, it looks like we didn't answer your question completely. If you want to unmute and kind of give us a little bit more information, you're welcome to. I guess one of the questions I had while she's unmuting is, do you have an age limit?
No, we go all the way through adults. So I think our oldest kid right now that we have on the spectrum is 15. So we go, we have a lot of 3 and 4 year olds, 7, 9. Yeah. So we go all the way through adults, but right now our oldest is 13.
Okay. Perfect.
She does not stay in tune long enough.
Do we need to drop our email in the chat to get the flyer, or do you already have it from us signing up for today's class?
Yeah, we can send it to you. That way we can send it all out to everybody all at once. We can definitely do that for you. Yeah, and I just want to thank you so much, Emily. This is a lot of really great information, and I wish I had
Of course.
my son was little. He's now 14, and he is a water baby. He loves it, and I just want to point out to anybody who's maybe concerned about like their kid not being able to follow direction or their kid being non-speaking, like just presume competence because that was my kiddo, and he loves the water now, and at first he was that exact kid that Emily was talking about, like, oh, I don't want to put my feet in. He was hesitant.
Yeah.
If you have a sibling that's neurotypical, bring that sibling in as much as possible because
Yeah.
my son has also learned to do so much from watching his brother. And we've found things like he loves superheroes, so we bought those like diving sticks that are like Marvel.
Yeah.
And they have a floating Batman and a floating Spider-Man. So we got those, and those were all useful tools to help him get comfortable being in the water because those were things that he already loved. So we were bringing things that he loved to the pool and just incorporated those. So
Yeah.
that would be one of my suggestions. And I also want to point out too, like, regardless of their abilities and kind of where they fall on the spectrum, they can do incredible things. So I actually know of 2 boys who are in our community. They're brothers, and they both are on the autism spectrum. One is more independent than the other, and I will say that they are incredible. They have, gone through the whole swimming lessons, but now they're actually divers, and one has learned how to dive from his brother.
Oh, how
I mean,
cool.
these kids are probably going to go to the Olympics. They are that great. They are amazing. So that's what I always tell families, like never give up hope and always presume competence with your kids. Like you said, Emily, keep giving them that loving push to try new things and to keep.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah. And Tori, if you want to, sorry for not maybe understanding your question, but if you want to come down to the swim school and just come in for a day and I can see what you're talking about and we can, give you some things to work on, then I would love to have you come down and just check it out and see if we can help you at all. I just put the website down in the chat as well, so you guys can have that. Click on it, open up in your browser schedule to come on in and check us out.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
That's kind of specific. So if there's an above ground pool versus like a normal level pool, like the climbing out's going to be different, right? It's not going to be elbow, belly, knee because he's going up a ladder. So
Right.
like, would
So
there
then
be like any particular like advice that you would say in that situation?
So in that one, I would focus on learning how to swim to the side, grab up and scoot along.
Okay.
Right. Because let's say he's over on the other side and away from the ladder. Then he's going to need to be able to figure out how to get to the ladder. And then, yeah, and that one is just ladder work, working on grip strength, like almost like making like a pull-up game. And then just, yeah, that one's just going to be more ladder work. And then, but you can still swim him to the ladder and have him learn how to grab up and put his feet underneath him is what's going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, like he can get in, like he can climb the ladder now. I was just wondering if there was like a little like memory key thing of something that I should teach.
We don't have a mnemonic device for ladders
Okay,
yet.
that's why I was like, do you have like a mnemonic device? Because I have access to 2 pools. One is like typical with like a step
Okay.
into it, and one is an above ground. So I was just wondering if there's something in that situation.
No, but thanks for giving me an idea. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'll work on a good rhyme.
Maybe
Thank you so much.
I'm thinking maybe like a grab, scoot or something.
Yeah.
He gets the ladder.
Right? Like foot, pull, foot, pull.
Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thank you so much for everybody for joining us. And we'll send out this recording, that way you have it too, because I know it's always a lot of information and you always go, I want to know whatever, I forgot, I missed something. So
right.
As well as the coupon. So thank you so much, Emily, for your time, and thank you so much for everybody for joining us today. We hope you'll join us at some future events. So thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, guys.
You.
Bye.